Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream. And for those of you who are watching this on the playback, go ahead and leave comments below if you have any questions, and I will try to get back to them when I get a chance after the live stream. Okay, Brian, are you excited, Brian? And you just can't hide it? Please don't sing. Please don't. So today we're doing a Q&A, and I'm hoping there's more than just one person because I already have Brian's questions. Hey Josh, how are you? I'm glad you made it back. I hope you have some questions about drones and drone video. Nothing, outside of that, because we are only talking about drones. And here I have this beautiful live stream thing, and this is basically, I'm telling everybody, we're going to be doing Q&A. And if you are watching this on the replay, I think I already said this. If you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and leave questions in the comments below, and maybe I'll even make a video about it if I don't answer your question in the comments. Woohoo, everybody's being friendly. So today we're going to start out, because Brian was so nice to help me out today. He actually kind of gave me a little idea on doing this Q&A, because I was actually asking him about topics, and I'm like, hey man, you got a topic? And he had a couple questions for me. I'm like, well, how about if I just do a Q&A? And one of the things Brian has asked about more than once to me, and I think that this is a lot of things that a lot of people wonder this themselves. Now, I won't be able to do any nice video about it. I'm just going to have to explain to you what exposure is, because he asked about exposure. One of his videos, it had light and it had dark, and it had light and it had dark, and he wants to know about the auto function and a lot of other stuff. And I'm glad to see you guys are talking to each other. Maybe there'll be some more people. Oh, there are more people in. If you have a question, go ahead and leave it in the chat, and I will try to get to it. But let's talk about exposure. Exposure is a balance, and if you watched the one video I did a few weeks ago about the settings really kind of tell you a lot of what you need to know. You want to use the histogram, and you can use the zebra striping, also known as overexposure warning, to really make sure that your exposure is correct. Now, the histogram, you want to make sure it's a little bit on the low end, all the wavy things. You want to make sure it's a little on the low end. But you want to make sure it's all within that whole area, and you don't want the peaks too high, because then you're overexposed. And the way you can also tell if you're overexposed is you turn on an overexposed warning, and I do know that Autel has that, and I know that DJI has that, and most consumer drones that are made for video have overexposure warning. You turn it on in the settings, and then you can see the zebra striping. If you see the zebra striping while you're recording, that means that that area is going to be overexposed. Now, how do you know if you're underexposed? Well, just keep boosting it up until you see that overexposure, and then bring it back down 1 or 2 clicks, maybe even 3 clicks, whether you're using your shutter speed or your aperture if you have a DJI P4P, or if you're using filters or whatever you got. But you want to make sure that you can bring that down, and you can use your ISO settings. Also, the 100 is the lowest it's going to go, and that's going to be the darkest. If you are in the night or in the dark, you want to set that to a very high number, the ISO to a very high number. So that will help. I hope that helps, Brian, to allow you to get an idea of how to do, or how to get better with your exposure. Maybe you and I can have a one-on-one. I only charge $15 million for that. I'm sure, you making the big bucks, right? So who else we got here? We got Stella. Hey, Stella, what's going on? What software do I use to edit my videos? I made a video on that, and I use Premiere Pro CC. Now, if you don't want to buy the Premiere Pro CC, you can get Hit Film Express for free, but it's a pretty steep learning curve. And you can also use, I used, way back in the day, I used Corel Video Studio, Video Studio Pro or whatever, and it's cost less than $100, and it's a one-time thing, and you get it. What does ISO stand for? Well, Brian, like you said, you're going to ask me questions that are going to annoy me, and that's one of them, because I used to know what it stands for. International Standards of some darn thing. Oh, someone tell me what someone in the comments, you tell us what ISO means. Can you expose? Can the exposure be corrected when editing? That is a very good question. What that yes is the short answer. But if you have a video that's not very good in the first place, it's not going to be able to get corrected. You can't bring something that's not there. You know, if it's all black, it's going to be hard to bring it up, but you can do it. I've done it with the Autel, but it doesn't get a clean enough picture, and it really looked kind of crappy. So you want to get your exposure as close to possible as you can. With the more professional cameras, the higher-end cameras, you know, when you're starting to spend thousands of dollars on just the camera, then you can actually bring it up. Overexposure, you cannot fix. That means there's too much light, the information's gone. You will never be able to fix overexposure unless you're a magic. Unless you're magic. I hope that answered your question. Yes, you can fix it, which, of course, you can always fix it, but it has to be a reasonable good quality in the first place. So you can't, like if you're taking a picture in utter darkness, no, that's not going to get fixed. But if you have something that's a little bit dark, you can bring it up. There's actually in Premiere Pro, you can set, in the Lumetri colors, you can set your exposure to come up and bump it up a little bit, and that works really. International Organization for Standardization, maybe. It might be International Standardization Organization. So if someone else wants to Google it really quick, that would be awesome. See, that's the other thing, Brian. You could Google that. See, Brian already told me he was going to ask me annoying questions, and I might just tell him, go away. I might text him. Don't make me text you, because I'll show everybody your phone number. No, I won't. I would not do that to anybody. So anything, give me some more questions. Exposure, editing. The other software I use to make these cool graphics. See, I can't really show them right now. Is After Effects. I use After Effects also, and I've got all the cool stuff. And I don't know if you notice this. I have my new Twitter and my new Instagram. I have @BradsDrones for both of those, so check them out. What do you suggest for bad quality video from your gimbal camera? Which camera are you using, Joshua? Because it might not be the camera, and it may be the camera. We'll see. What format do you like to export your video to? I'll get to that in a second. Phantom 3 Standard. What do you suggest? Okay, so you have the Phantom 3 Standard, which is a 1080p, I believe. I'm not familiar with the 3s. Bad quality video. I didn't know the 3 had bad quality. Explain to me what you mean by bad quality, and let me get into Brian's question really quick, and I will come back to yours with the bad quality. What format do you export to video to? I export everything to MP4 because that is a reasonably okay compression. YouTube handles it well, and if you do AVI, it's going to be a massive file. And do you know the difference between going from MP4 to MOV is that you can literally just change the extension and it still works. Use Wondershare Filmora editing, and you like it a lot, and it's cheap. There you go, Wondershare Filmora. I've not heard of that one. Stan loves it. That's good. Hey, Owen, nice you made it. Glad you made it. You're not that late. You're only about 10 minutes. Glitchy and often laggy. That is not really to do with your camera. That is to do with the transmission between your drone and your receiver. Okay, what that might be, you might have to get, it might be antenna adjustment. You might get those range extenders. That might help. With the Phantom 3, that really, I think that's going to be the best thing you can do is really get like extenders. You might want to look up in the Phantom 3 group, if there's a group there, in the DJI owners group, and ask them, because there might be a very quick fix for that. But I would definitely say, in fact, Owen might even know. Owen, he's having a problem with his video with his DJI Phantom 3 Standard, and it's glitchy and it's laggy between what's going on. So I'm assuming that may be something to the something to do with the transmission. Because if you're just talking about the video on the display or on your phone when you're flying, that's different than the video I'm talking about. The video I'm talking about is the actual video you use. The Wikipedia entry is accurate. Okay. Yeah, I'm saying ISO might be, I think you're right, from what I understand, because iOS, obviously Apple, yes, I'm sure that's what it is. If that's what Wikipedia says, I'm pretty sure that's right because that sounds right. Like I said, I used to know it way long time ago. Owen, yes, again, just been playing around with AdWords. It's expensive. Yes, it is. Yes, please help out, Mr. Owen. So it's also bad quality when you transfer to your computer. See, that's with the 3. Owen might be able to help you out a little bit more with that because he has one, and I have not flown the 3. I always have had problems with the video link on my Autel. If I get more than 1,000 feet away, it is horrible. I had problems with my Autel doing that too, and you're not the only one. That is, I think it's a common problem with Autels, but it's not. I think it's probably half of them are that way. My guess, total guess. But I do know that can be a problem with and again, it's between the drone and the receiver. But if you're having that problem with video that you're pulling, and is that video that you're pulling from the memory card, or are you pulling it from the phone that was sent? Sometimes it works, sometimes it's poor. Yeah, I want to know if that's actually from. I want to know if that's, you said it's pulling it from the drone. Are you pulling it actually directly from the card? Because that seems to be like a real problem that might be just a bad camera, which I don't think they're supporting the P3s anymore. When transferring the SAD footage on the laptop, then it might be, the SD card not being good enough. Yeah, the SD card might not be good enough. Correct. You do need to have a good SD card. With a P4P, an Extreme is the kind of what you want to have, but I believe with the P3 and Ultra, a SanDisk Ultra would be fine. Great minds think alike. Bad, not sad. Well, sad. I like sad better. That sounded more fun, interesting. You changed the SD card and it worked better. Definitely, it sounds like it's an SD card problem. Thank you. Look at that. That's what my community is about, is helping people. We all got it. Y'all are better than me with that. Thank you. That's unusual. I'm usually pretty good with technical stuff. Okay, let's go with some more questions. I think we've at least sent him on a correct route. And if you still have problems, Josh, you may want to contact Owen for that, or you might want to contact DJI or get on their support forum, because that may or may not be a common problem. And I bet you at least one other person's had that issue with the Phantom 3. Yes, Mr. Brian had an issue with this SD card causing recording to stop. I had that same problem on the Autel, and I had that problem on the DJI. And the minute I went to an Extreme 64 gig on the DJI, problem solved. So get an Extreme card, and you should be fine, because you need a very, very fast card, because 4K video is crazy, crazy big and crazy fast. There's nothing like a sad card. Oh, that's good. I like that, Owen. You're right. It just wants to cry. In fact, I don't know. I don't have any cards to show you, any sad cards. Total pain. Yes, it is. I agree, because I was doing a shoot for a friend of mine. We were going to do some nice video for him for a promotional video. Obviously, it was a freebie because I was in the beginning of the whole thing. It was early in the spring, and yippee-ki-yay, it kept stopping on me, and then I got the new card, didn't have that problem anymore. How do you keep the propellers out of footage? Well, you could just cut the propellers off. Oh, then it doesn't fly. With the Phantom 3, it's going to be hard. Basically, you don't fly head into the wind, which, if that's the shot you're trying to get, that's not going to work. Don't fly super fast, because basically, you just got to think about it. When you go fast, it tilts the drone this way, and the camera's still going this way. You can also tilt your camera down a little bit. So if you tilt your camera down, it will assist in getting those propellers out. So yeah, I'd say put the ground at like the rule of thirds. If you use the rule of thirds and put the ground horizon up a little higher in the frame, then I think that would really help you out in getting the propellers out. And also, again, don't fly head on into a strong wind. That would definitely be the thing. So Owen says it's just trial and error stuff, but it doesn't work. When the remote kept losing charge, it's a DJ. Okay, that's talking about something else. Yeah. I switched to LXR64U1. See, I only use SanDisk anymore because I've had issues with other ones. Now in my DSLR, I do have a Samsung 64 gig, which it's been working fine. But at micro SDs, I'm only using SanDisk. That's all I'm ever going to use. HD Tune is a good program to test SD cards with. Huh. And you did it all yourself. You opened up the remote. Owen, you got definitely. I'm impressed. I'm not opening any of my stuff. Well, right now I'm not because I still am under warranty. That's why. The SanDisk was what was giving me the problem. Well, it was the card that comes with the Autel. Oddly enough, is not fast enough for the Autel, because that's the card I had more problems with in both Autel. Well, the one that came with is in the lake now, but yeah, I always had problems with that card, and when the minute I upgraded cards, it got better. JB, how's it going? Am I repping for SanDisk now? Brian, if they want to send me money, I would, because it's a good product. By the way, doesn't Western Digital own SanDisk, which I've had nothing but great things with all my Western Digital drives, so why not? What drones do I have? Well, I have the P4P, I also have a Nano, and I have a Micro. But I don't have anything else. I had a chance, and I got to fly the camera of a drone of the Inspire 2. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Haven't seen you in a while. You got to do some flying or something. Come in from the burbs. You have the Phantom 3 4K. Yep. Western Digital drives, dude, those are... I have never had a problem with Western Digital in the last 15 years. And I've had problems with Seagate, so we don't do Seagate anymore. Unless it's a drive that has nothing that has anything of value on it. Yay, Mike. Look at that, Brian subbed you. Brian, why don't you take Mike out for a flight? Mike likes to fly. He didn't kill my drone. I actually let him fly my drone without... Well, he's had some practice, so... It wasn't really a big deal. Who else has got more drone questions? Video questions? Come on, Brian. Don't let me down. Seagate and it does... Oh, man. Dude, my Seagate hybrid totally... I almost lost a customer because of it, because I almost lost all their data. I had to pay $300 to get their data back. It was not fun. Besides the ND4-816, what is the next essential filter? Those are pretty much the ones you really need. I have got the Cinema series from Polar Pro, which is 64, 128, and 256. The 64 is really nice on bright days when you want to have a little more flexibility with everything else, but like your aperture. Because if you don't have the 4 Pro, it's really almost useless to get one, I guess, because you don't really want to mess around too much with the... Oh, no, it's not useless. I'm sorry. My brain is fried. The ND64 is the one I like because it gives me more flexibility with my P4P. I don't know which drone you've got, Stan, but with the P4P, it allows me to set my aperture a lot more than just a few different stops, because a lot of times when it's really bright, you can set it at the higher stops, and that's about it. So with the 64, you just have more options, and then you can take pictures at a slower rate, so you can have like long exposure photography, which is what I've been playing around with a little bit. And I try to do a time-lapse one, but I could not get... I did not like the results yet. Polarized often comes in the pack, but I've never used mine. Polarized filters are really good when you're doing when you're shooting into windows. That really sounds bad. When you're getting pictures or video of windows or glass, same thing, or water, because it helps with the reflection, to make the reflection look, to get rid of the reflection. So and that's why they kind of spin, like the ND4, 8, and 16 on the Polar Pro kit. They're actually polarized also, so they'll spin, and they help you eliminate glare from glass and water. That's what the polarization's for. I missed one. What do you set your return home? What do I set my return home height? I set mine at 100 feet because that's usually pretty safe. It'll get you over the trees. Trees are usually around 65 to 85 feet. That's a tall tree at 85 feet. So that's what I do is at 100 feet. And I'm thinking I'm losing something. I use filters all the time. I always use filters. Polarized also comes to pack. Yeah, okay. Mavic Pro Platinum. What about the Mavic Pro Platinum? So, that's what you have. Okay. Hey, Big Sky Tom, how are you? What's going on? I caught you. Have you used Google Earth to get altitude data for Litchi flight plans? No, I have not because I don't need to. I don't feel the need to. I just go. I kind of all I've done here is all in Chicago, so we're at about 600 feet elevation, roughly right around that, between 600 and 700 in that general range. It does vary a little bit, so I don't really have that problem. And when I do, I've only done a handful of Litchi programs. I can't think of the word. My brain just disappeared. Flights. I've only done a handful of them because I really have a problem with letting my drone fly itself. I'm a control freak. I like to have hands on the sticks. I know that you can get rid of it and and take over in no time. It's just I don't want to get comfortable with using it. I really don't. Oh, I'm losing people. Stella Litchi is really poor. I like Litchi, but I don't think it's that bad. I paid for it. You wouldn't recommend it? 70 meters. So that's 70 meters. That'd be about 210 feet. I think. Thanks for the sub. Yep, no problem. UV filter. Stan, from everything I've seen about a UV filter, all it really does is protect the lens from scratches. My filter that came with the drone, it broke within 2 months. I have not replaced it. Haven't been able to find a good replacement, and I don't even bother with it. UV filters, my opinion, and you're going to see other photographers say other things. In my opinion, a UV filter is really just basically a lens protector, which is not a bad thing, because if you hit a tree or you just bump a branch where you don't really crash, that's going to save your lens from getting scratched. And if your lens gets scratched on your drone, your camera's done. Which, if you're living on your camera, then you have to buy a new drone. One of the problems I have with the Phantom series. Let me know whenever anyone wants to fly. There you go. Well, you're a part of the Drone Flyers of Illinois or not, Mike? Because if you are, go ahead and. Except I think you actually have to have. Well, I think Jeff might let you in. I think he's seen you around. I know, Stella. I'll tell you what it does. It scares me a lot to let Litchi take full control of it. Now they do have. It has some nice things. The panel stuff, the orbit stuff works a little better. But doing that line flight, that just scares the heck out of me. I'm still trying to do the focus point, I think it's called, where it looks at one thing and you can fly all over, and it's just going to stay focused on that one thing at that one elevation. So that could be quite interesting. Yeah, Brian, he's not too far away. You're in the west burbs. He's kind of in the north. Hey, Brian, how are you? Brian Ladd, nice to see you. Got two Brians on. I'm looking over here because I'm reading the comments over here. What are your thoughts on DJI supports? You mean the support? DJI support as in the tech support or the replacements? Is that what you're asking about, Owen? Yeah, mine too, Tom. That thing was pretty much useless. I was not too happy with that. Let's see, Owen. I'm waiting for Owen's answer if that's what you're talking about, DJI tech support. Because I only have one. We'll just talk about DJI tech support. I've only had one instance with them. I had a battery that I had purchased. I think I got it from Best Buy. I forget. I might have gotten it online. And it was dead on arrival. So I contacted support. They said, yep, just send it to us, send it back. It took a while, but it didn't take as long as most people say. I think it took 2 weeks as opposed, but that was just a battery. That wasn't a full-fledged Inspire 2 or 4 Pro or a 3 drone. It wasn't any of these. It was just a battery. So it only took about 10 to 14 days to get me a battery that works. Mike, just remember, this is on the internet, so you might want to be careful what you say online. and this video will stay live, so don't say too much. Yes, Brian and Mike have both flown with me. Tom hasn't flown with me because he's out in New York, not the city. He's in the state. Customer service sort of thing. Okay, I think I answered you then, Dolan. Cool. Stella, if you guys ever want to visit London, I'll fly with you. Stella, Owen is also in your area, so why don't you two could fly together. But if I come to London, I'm flying with both of y'all because I would be more than happy to fly. I'd like to just go to London. If you guys want to come to Chicago, come on over. There's a whole bunch of us over here in Chicago that love to fly with you. 7 weeks to replace your backpack? Oh my gosh, Jab. Man, that's well, I think everybody realizes that's just crazy. Crazy. Yeah, they are horrible, Josh. I'll tell you what, Autel was really, really good to me. As you know, watch the old videos of mine. They were good to me with their tech support. I just honestly wish their drone was a little bit better. I would have kept it. I would have flown it, and I'd be making money with that. But c'est la vie, and since I got the P4, and because I got the P4P, I've had more business. On your drone, how high do you fly for a good shot of a corner of a house, and how close do you get? Oh, that's an excellent question, Brian. Just curious. And Tom, if Sky comes in and tells you he's got Big Sky Imagery, he does a lot of this. I would be around the 25 to 35 feet if you want to. I mean, because really any higher, you're just looking at the roof. You know, you don't want to get too much high. If it's a 3-story building, maybe 40 feet. I know that Drone Base, when you do like a building, they want you at 100 feet and you do the pano. But I do know that Big Sky, he's done a lot of video and photography for real estate. Yeah, but 30 feet up and 20 feet away, I'd even pull it back further than 20 feet. Maybe get like... I don't know, maybe 50 feet. Try 50 feet, but then 30 might have a really cool perspective where you're like at the corner and it's like really, really sharp corner, and it has that really cool the wide angle lens. So that might be really, really good. I have not done as many real estate pictures as I'd like to. I've only done a handful. I've done more of the marketing side, the commercial and all of that kind of use. Brad, if you could fly anywhere in the world, where would you go? Dude, that is a question that, oh my God, everywhere. There is no place I wouldn't want to go, except for maybe a place that I could get shot. Any place I wouldn't die is good with me. I love to travel, Brian. I'll go anywhere. So you're in Hampshire. Yeah, Owen, you're quite young, but Owen is quite smart too. He's definitely been doing this for a little. I think Owen's been doing it longer than I have. He's got his stuff together. He knows what he's doing. Do they use the word y'all in London? No. Hey, Tim, how are you? Good to see you, Tim Neck. Glad to have you. DJ is like Uber tech support. Uber tech support doesn't exist. So I'd say Uber is worst. And I am an Uber driver. I do that on the weekends. They do use y'all? Oh, my goodness. First time watching? Well, Tim, welcome to the group. I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions on drones or drone video, let me know. We have a very, very good number of people here in the comments, that in the chat, that would be able to answer questions that I can't. So that's the nice thing about it. Beauty shots of the roof line of with Drone Base. Okay, so there you go, Stan. There, Stan's helping you out. Weekends, oh good. Weekends work for me. Weekends don't work for me, unfortunately. I take most of my shots at roof level or just below, around 20 feet elevation. Okay, and he knows what he's doing. And yeah, okay. You guys are meeting. I'll tell you what, guys. Why don't you give each other's email or something, or email me? I'll give you emails. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can still talk here. I don't care. Flying drones for 6 years, so you might know a thing or two about flying them, Josh. You have about 4 hours of flight time. Okay, well, keep going, Stella. All you got to do it and keep going. Hey, Aussie Mark is in the house. Everybody say hi to Aussie Mark. He and I did the collab a month or so ago. By the way, Owen, I was on Owen's channel too. We did an interview, and it was rather nice. We had a good time. Living in the Newport. Sup, Mark? You're going to be going to work soon, aren't you? It's about that time for you. I don't know if Mark would have any questions that I could answer for him. Okay, Mark, give me a drone or drone video question and see how it goes. Let's see if I can answer your question. I'll bet you can ask me a question that I may not be able to answer. Maybe. We'll see. See if you can do it. I have not been able to see. The one time I was almost able to see Mark's live stream was the day that the wife and I had to go out on a date. I think I better take the wife out on a date rather than watch Mark's live stream. He understood. He does a lot of drone. Yes, he does. He does more than I do, and I don't know where he finds the time because I just don't have the time to do it. Almost jealous. Start at 11 a.m. It's 8:30. Oh, okay. You have to think about it. Oh, so you got a couple hours. You got a nice time here to chill and relax with us. And by the way, the wife might be home in about a half an hour, so if you hear noises, that's probably going to be her. What's the average RPM on a props at a P4 at hover? This fast. I would love to know that. I mean, that's don't know. Okay, Mike, we'll take care, man. Get in touch with Brian, and we'll maybe the three of us will go fly. 25C at air temp. Oh, jeez. No one wants to do one with me, so I've stopped. Aww. Owen, that's not right. Happy wife, happy life. Yes, you got that right, Mark. Or Tom. I caught the wrong name. Yep. Got to make the wife happy. It's kind of the rules. Oh, I'm getting texts from people right now. Oh, come on, guys, give me some good questions. Some questions that I can actually answer besides the rotation of. Okay. And Stella, if you want to send me some Stellas, that would be wonderful. If you could send them straight from Belgium, that would even be best. I'll be waiting for them. It's my favorite beer right now. So any tips for new drone pilots? Holy cow. Watch all my videos, or at least the tip videos. I have got so many of them. What I put up last week, or was it the week before? Yeah, I know who it is, Brian. I was reading them. I saw what you said. Anyway, I'm just giving you crap. This for new drone pilots, Tim. I think it was last week or the week before. I did a video on practicing on one of these little drones because you can't really break them. I also have some tips on some settings and maneuvers to try. There's a lot of videos I have. I could go on. This video would be days long if I talked about what you could do for new drone pilots. And I think that some of these guys will probably give some tips beyond what I have. But definitely the way I do it, you get one of these cheap $20 drones, fly it around your house, annoy the people in your house, which is a lot of fun. And if you crash it, who cares? Because it bounces. So next. My one is I'm alone. I'm alone, but I've got my drone. It would be funny if it weren't. Oh, come on, Owen. You're good. You're good. Oh, and you've got some really good videos up. You've got a lot of talent. You just keep going on with it, man. I'll have a word with my supplier. You better. Any good tips for taking and studying for the 107? Well, Mr. JAB, I am going to have to pimp out my remote pilot. In the link in the description below, there is an affiliate link for remote pilot. Yes, it does cost $150, but that is a lifetime membership. I did it, but I don't pimp anything I don't use. Without that, I wouldn't have passed it the first time. I just would. It's a video. It's a lifetime membership. So every 2 years when you have to go retake your FAA test, you can restudy it, the same thing, without paying more money, which I have to do next year. But that was awesome. I know there's other people that use other ones, and they're out there, and there's some free ones. I don't know about them. I used this. It worked for me, and I took that course. I went through it in a week, in 5 days. And I studied and studied and studied within 5 days, and I passed that test at almost a 90%. So that's what I feel. And again, link below. I'll have Stella 2, please. Phantom 3 Pro. We're going too fast. How low do you let your battery life before landing? Excellent question, Brian. Thank you very much. We will talk about that for 2 seconds or 5. I let mine, the standard warning when it hits 30%, that's when I'm coming back at 30%. I try to not be out at 30%. Sometimes I'm landing at 30%, but 30% is my number. I was driving Christopher from Robo Area. I was driving him nuts because I'm like, he was flying my drone. And I'm like, we're at 30%. He's like, oh, okay. I'm like, bring it back. These are my batteries. With his batteries, I just told him it's 30%. When we were flying his batteries, he can do what he wants, but he started to do the same practice I was, and we were getting into a good rhythm. So 30% is my magic number. Uh-oh, I lost track of where we're at here. I have a tip. Don't fly small drones. Josh, that's exactly why I fly it, because it's harder to fly these. This thing is a pain in the ass to fly. But if you can fly this even a little bit, you can fly that Phantoms without a problem. Or an Autel, or any good drone without a problem. That's mine. That's my thought, Josh. Any rumors on the Phantom 5? Well, I can start some rumors on the Phantom 5, Tom. I haven't heard anything. I'm in as much in the dark as you. I'm assuming we'll start to hear things probably January, February, and it'll probably come out March, April. Kind of like the 4 came out. I think it was around that time of year. Or the 4 came out a little earlier. The Pro came out, because I've had my Pro since March or April. The Pro came out really soon. So if you're Aussie, I'll send you a crate. Stella, that hurts my feelings, because I can drink a beer. Or 20. Where are we at? What are you saying, Stella? We drink too much here. Mark, I'm not going to say that's what they're saying, but that's probably what they're saying. Because, I've met Aussies, and I know Aussies, like we've talked before. Y'all can drink. What do you know about regulations of flying on a plane with a drone? Regulations? I don't think there's any real regulations. You fly with the drone, you can check it in, but you're going to want to head the drone, not the batteries. The drone can be in checked-in baggage. You're going to make sure that you want to make sure it's in a good bag, because you don't want it to get broken. Batteries, got to carry on your batteries. Some places say you can only carry on 2 or 3. I've seen pictures of people carrying on a buttload of batteries for many different drones. Some people don't want to worry about it, so they'll actually FedEx it to wherever they're going, just the batteries. But you got to remember, you can't overnight those, because batteries cannot fly in the cargo hold of a plane. That's where they have a problem. They have to be up with you in the pressurized cabin, so they only carry on batteries. And like I said, I've seen people carry a duffel bag full of batteries. Now, you also want to make sure that your batteries are at 50%. And, hang on, let me get my bag. There it is, right here. And it's a really good idea to put them in one of these, your LiPo bar. Oops. In one of these little LiPo bags. Put a battery in there. 50% charge. You don't want to have it undercharged or overcharged. You want to have it at 50% charged, and you can put it in your carry-on. I don't know if that's really, that's the rules. How do you find new places to fly? Oh, and I'll tell you what, man, that's the number $1 billion question. I've been racking my brain with that for the last couple of weeks, because I like to have stuff that's interesting. Now here in Chicagoland area, we're not allowed to fly without certain permissions. We got to have certain things, certain blah 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 that I don't technically have. to fly in the Cook County Forest Preserves. But the Cook County Forest Preserves are wonderful because they have some really cool scenery in a lot of different places. Now, some of the things I've seen you do, that abandoned bar was really cool, by the way. I thought that was an awesome video, and stuff like that is really neat. But how do you find those places? How did you find that place? You know, you just have to get out and you have to... One of the things I've been doing lately is I've been out hiking more, out walking more, and that helps me look around. I'm like, oh, this would be a cool place to fly. And my wife and I were out walking one day, and we're like, oh, this would be so cool to fly. And then I remembered I am less than a mile from O'Hare at that location, so there ain't no flying there, unless I had like a Mavic and I was flying below the trees and nobody knew about it. That's if the Mavic would even take off in that location, because, again, I was less than a mile from O'Hare. So... that didn't work. But then we also know some other places that I've been trying to get over to, but quite honestly, it's been crappy weather. Yesterday morning, it was freezing cold, and I was at a hospital. I was shooting with a hospital. We were doing some marketing work. But, you know, it's just getting cold here, and I'm sure it's going to get cold there in the UK. But you just have to get out. You walk around. You explore new areas. I know you're young, but you know, get out. I'm assuming you have a bicycle, a skateboard, something. Just get out and explore new areas. Take some friends out, hang out, do whatever. Get out with your family and drive. If they're like, hey, you want to go out for a drive? Just say yes. Just go out. Get out and just try to explore some new places. Now, where am I at here? I lost some things. Pushed it to 15% mark? Oh, man. I have pushed it, but never down to 15%. Wow. See, I'm a little bit behind you guys right now. Actually, I'm a lot behind you guys. I'm going to try to catch up here. Another tip, fly around 75 to 100 feet. Don't fly too low or too high while learning. Yeah, that's a good idea. Just keep it at a nice thing. 10%, Brian. Oh, my God, you're going to kill your batteries. Basically, the 30% rule, the reason you do that is to not kill your batteries, because a LiPo battery, you don't want to drain all the way or close to all the way. And when you're getting down to that 10%, that's a bad idea. Yesterday morning, when Christopher and I were flying, we had lost track, and I am so thankful for this little thing right here that DJI and Autel and all these big boys do. We were so happy for that automatic return to home feature, because we're doing this great shot. All of a sudden it goes neat, 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 or whatever the alarm was. It's returning to home. That battery got down to 17%. We hadn't even noticed the battery was down because, well, lots of things. Normally we were both very good at monitoring the battery. Just that one time we were not. Light beer. No, we don't like light beer. Flew my drone a month. See, I'm way far behind, guys. I'm trying to catch up. I'm gonna lose. So yeah, Brian flew with his carry-on. Did not check the batteries. Google Earth is a good place. There you go. Google Earth is a good place. You did get slowed down security. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, drone laws in Germany. I have not looked into there. Cheap to take to the pub. Yes, Owen is a youngin', but he's definitely an excellent drone pilot and a very good videographer. Definitely. State parks. Yeah, that's a good thing, the state parks, except now we have got to remember Owen is on the other side of the pond, so with the UK, I think Stella might have more of an opportunity to tell where to fly in the UK. I would say some kind of parks just basically don't take off at public or in private land. I've been in a situation where equipment didn't work, and what did I do? Yes, and I cried. No. What had happened, and this is at a point in time where I actually had the Autel and the DJI, and so when I first got the DJI, so I was still kind of unfamiliar with it, I could not get the DJI to fly. I forget exactly what was going on, but I just couldn't get it. I couldn't get either the app to work, it wouldn't connect to the drone, basically nothing would connect. So what did I do? I pulled out the Autel and flew that instead and said, well, forget the DJI for now. So that's what I did. Now, let's say that happened now, I'd be screwed because I don't have a backup drone right now. Well, that's why I'm flying with RoboAerial, because they have backups. You know, we would bring a Mavic as a backup. Now my P4P is the backup because he's got the Inspire 2 and he's going to get the X7 camera. So my P4P is the backup, which is fine, and I fly it. But basically, when something doesn't work, if you have no way, you have to fix it. Otherwise, you're losing that money. You're losing face. I mean, I'm talking about on client site. If it doesn't work, you need to get it to work or figure something out, because you're gonna lose that client. He's going to tell other people, that you were unprofessional because you weren't prepared, blah blah blah. So you want to make sure it's going to work. What I do if I'm going to go out to a client the next day, I make sure that everything's updated. I do a quick systems check the night before, and I just make sure it's working. I make sure I have all my batteries. I always have at least 1 or 2 cords sitting in my backpack at all times. I just make sure that there's a lot of redundancy. I mean, what if I forget? Now, let's say I forget my tablet. What happens if I forget my tablet? Well, I'll use my phone instead. What if I've been using my tablet all day and the battery's dead? Well, I'll use my phone instead. I have a battery charger inside the backpack. So you want to make sure that you plan for as much as you can. Basically, plan for as much as you can and expect the worst and hope for the best. Hey, what's up, Matt? I just saw you came in. Didn't know. Oh, you didn't know about the batteries, probably. Great channel, Owen. Yeah, see, look at that. People love you, Owen. I was on a photo shoot, and I was allowed to dim the do the behind the scenes remote work. The screwdriver, and open up the remote. There you go. What do I use for editing? Once again, I use Premiere Pro and I use After Effects. If you don't want to spend that kind of money, Hit Film Express is a steep learning curve, but it's also excellent. It's free. You can purchase a version of Hit Film, and I also Video Studio, Corel Video Studio. If Mark is still around, Mark will give you a couple ideas because he and I did 2 videos based on that alone. There are so many videos to work with, or video editors to work with. It's craziness, but I personally use Premiere Pro and Adobe After Effects because I also make money working in those. I let it drop. I didn't let it drop in the lake. It went on its own. I had zero control of it. Well, I had a little bit of control, but I was too new and didn't know what the heck I was doing. Stella, there's a good. Get on Google Earth and look for the green bits. If you forget to calibrate your compass and it's not flying far, it's not that big of a deal. I don't calibrate my compass very often, but I have had to do it. Every now and then I will do it. If I'm in a new area completely, then I will. I'm Nub Cakes? Oh, you're new. Stella, do it anyway. Start doing it. That's how you learn. You just start putting them up. That's just how you learn. You just start doing it. How long does it take editing on Premiere Pro? Well, if you're good at it, not very long. But if you want to learn how to use it, it's a little bit of a learning curve. If you've used an inline or an inline editor, it's a non-linear editor. Sorry, that's what the words are escaping me again. But if you're using a non-linear editor, that's what this is. If you've used them before, you'll be able to use it. You just have to learn you'll want to learn the shortcuts, the terminology, and it's just basically getting used to it. It'll take a few days if you've done an NLE, a nonlinear editor, before. If you've never used this kind of editor before, it's going to take you a few weeks if you study it hard. If you're just kind of doing it casual, it's going to take you a few months to get reasonably good at it. But to make my videos, I go slow on purpose, and I edit my videos as slow as I can, and I still kind of screw up some of these things. But I do them, it takes me a day, 1 day or less, probably 3 or 4 hours to edit one video, but then that's me putting in some After Effects, getting B-roll, and all this other stuff. Sometimes I'm actually filming B-roll as I'm editing, going, oh yeah, I need to get this B-roll real quick, and I'll do that. So that's kind of the process I take when I edit my videos. But for your videos that you're doing, I don't think it's not gonna be too difficult, because your style is really good. I like your style, and what this will allow you to do, it'll allow you to take your style a little further and do some more colorization, and you'll get more out of it. And I think you will be happy with the product. If Owen, if you're going into media and that's what you want to do, you can use Premiere Pro. Premiere Pro is a commercial product. I mean, I use it for commercial use. There are, Sony is out there. They've got other editing suites out there that I don't even know that take super big computers to work. I mean, I have, so that's other stuff. But if you've used Premiere Pro, you'll be able to walk into these other editing programs and be able to work them. So that's a very good, even if you never get out, I mean, you may never get out of Premiere Pro. And the fact that it works so well with all the other Adobe products obviously really helps out. We all start somewhere. Exactly, Brian. Let's talk about deep cycling your batteries from time to time. Stan, I would highly not recommend that because one of my Autel batteries deep cycled itself, or I accidentally got it deep cycled. It's dead. It's completely dead, won't charge, gone, and they won't replace it because it was my fault. So yeah, don't. I would never do a LiPo battery like that. Magic's Edit Movie Edit Pro. That's what Mark uses. He does. Look at his videos; they're pretty good. No, that's a full purchase. That's a one-time thing. Wondershare Filmora. It's like I was saying before, editing on Final Cut, but I do a lot of background rendering, and it takes no time. Yeah, see, and that's the difference, and I think you and I talked about that, between Premiere Pro and Final Cut. You'll always render faster than me. It's just the way it is. I don't know what it is about. I mean, it optimizes the Apple software, the Apple hardware, and the Apple software just right, and Premiere Pro probably just has to worry about too many different variables. Even when you're on an Apple with Premiere Pro, it still has that problem. You can still out-render me. But that's what it is. I mean, I still don't like Apple. So I probably will never... I will only use Apple if someone makes me. You came from DaVinci. Yep. A lot of people have come from DaVinci, and I think you can actually use DaVinci color correction inside. I don't know how DaVinci works. Final Cut is expensive. I wouldn't know. I've never paid for it. I pay a lot of money for that Premiere Pro. I've got the $50 deal. Good amount filmed. Learn to edit. You got in iMovie? Oh, you got iMovie? Well, Stella, take a look at some of my editing videos, and just to give you some ideas, because you're set. You don't need any more equipment, anything else, just to get started. Just look at a few of the videos. Look at mine, look at Mark's, look at everybody's different videos on how to edit, what you want to edit. Storytelling is a big deal. Kind of tell a story. Owen, I really want everybody, if they can get a chance to look at Owen's abandoned bar video, or pub. I think it was a abandoned pub video. I think he did a really good job on that. So you can look at some of Ken Heron's videos. I'm starting to not become so much of a fan of his. I don't know. I don't know. I like his videos. I kind of wish he would stick to the videos. That's just me. Oh, good. I'm glad you're getting confidence, Stella. My man, my Nan. Oh, see, that's cool. You got a cool grandmother. That's awesomeness. You just got to do it, Stella. Just got to do it. You hate Apple. Friend of mine. Anyone use Power Director? You know what? Power Director, a friend of mine a long time ago used it. I think I tried it more than 10 years ago. It was fine. I know other people who use it that are fine with it. They like it. So I would say no worries with Power Director. I mean, as long as it works. If you're not going to do commercial work, then go ahead and use Power Director. If you're going to go into commercial work, you can start with Power Director, but you will probably end up going to another software package. I did use the Visual Studio from Corel for a while, and I tried to do something that looked professional, but I could never really make it look good. And that's when I got into Adobe and Premiere, and then it started looking a lot better. You're very muchly welcome. If you need, okay. Oh, I'm missing something. Wow, 2 days editing on one vid that way. Before I was editing on iPad. Ew. That bar one was edited. Oh, okay, the bar one was edited on iPad, and it took 2 days editing. Wow, that would take a long. That is a long time. So if you had a PC, or even a good Mac, yeah, I think that would probably help you out. Oh, okay, so you use it, Brian? Good. Used to use iPad, now I use computer. That's good. To Josh. He offered to help me. I know. It took me a minute. I had to read up. What is my workflow for editing? Wow, you got some great questions. My workflow for editing is first, go get video footage, which probably isn't always the best thing. I try to come up with an idea of what I want to do before I go get the video footage. Then I go get the video footage, and I come in and I sort everything out. I go through what we call the dailies, and you get you get your money shots, your great shots, and then you find your best shots, and then you go back through and you find your second best shots, and then you find your third best shots, and hopefully you don't go to your third best shots. Hopefully you have enough best shots and second best shots, and then you build your story around that. I mean, you already have an idea of what your story is. First you have the idea, and then you have to build these around that story, and then you just basically I bring all the videos in. I sort them out. I have assets, which is stuff like, pictures and stuff that I might use. I have B-roll folder, and then I have originals. And the originals folder is basically my original drone footage and any phone footage that I'm going to use as like A-roll. Anything that's A-roll is under originals. I should just name it A-rolls, but I don't. And then I have audio for music. I do separate audio. When I do the talking head videos, I use this microphone with a recorder, and I also use my cell phone as the video. So I don't that audio is from this microphone. So I have that, and I bring that all together, and I start clipping everything together, and then I start cutting up. After I've synced my audio, I bring in my clips, I set them up, I then sorry. When I get that done, I've got them all clipped up and cut to the point to where I like it, and then I make it nicer. Then I put my B-roll in, get my music set up, and work with the music. The music is kind of worked in as I go. Maybe some special effects if I need some special effects. Get some Adobe or some After Effects in there, and then I do a little bit of color correction on just the talking head part. I just do that all in one shot with either an adjustment layer or I do the master clip. And then I render it. I hope that kind of gave you an idea. I know that was a very fast run through. Maybe I should do a full video on that, on how my workflow is. But I don't know. There's a lot of people that have workflow videos. I think that I don't know if I would really be helping anybody beyond that. You're editing while you listen to this. Cool, Mark. That's how you find time to do stuff. I think I'm just lazy. I need to get back on it. On the MacBook, I can have it up in 2 hours. Wow. Oh, JB's doing editing too. Cool. Tell us what you're editing. That's what I like about you, Brad. I have 1,000 subs. No, I don't have. That's not a lot. 1,000 subs is not. But you don't have too many like 50K. I try to answer all your questions. Get some marshmallows. Where's them, man? I want some of them. So everybody's editing videos right now while they're listening to me. Well, what are you editing? I want to know. Tell everybody your next video, so they'll come and see your channel and want to see it. So just give a quick synopsis of what your next video is. And thank you, Josh. I don't think 1,000 subs is a lot. My goal is to have 2,000 by the end of the month. I will probably get to 50,000 if I have my choice. I'd have a million. I would like to make this a reasonable income. Doesn't have to be rich. I don't want to be famous, but I would like to have a decent following. What I want is to have people like you and everybody that's in this group. I want you guys to be like my audience. I want my whole audience to be people like you who want to really just make better videos and want to help each other. Oh, thanks, Brian. You're not editing, Owen? Okay. It's 11. Oh, my gosh. It's 11 o'clock there. Dude, thanks for staying up. Stella, I've got your undivided attention. You're making some videos for school. Gosh, I haven't made videos for school ever because I never took... Well, no, I did. I did take video in college. I did a lot of video in college. So our safety authority changed the boundaries for no flies, so I flew at the marina this morning where I couldn't fly before. Cool. So you're making that kind of video. So I get to see some cool stuff. Did a flight today at Kenmore Estates as a home Betty Washington, George Washington's sister here in Fredericksburg. I have heard that there's some illegal flying going on in D.C. at least a couple times a day. I'm looking forward to seeing Kenmore Estate. Am I aware of Eric Chong Mavic secrets. I am not aware of Eric. I will have to take a look at that, even though I don't have a Mavic, but I know people who do. And see, I think that doing just one specific drone is limiting, but then again, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe he really likes it, and he's going to be a professional. He's like going to be perfect at Mavics, and that's all he's going to be good at. Because there's going to be more Mavics coming out as we go along. I mean, they got the Mavic Platinum out now. Who knows what's coming out? Tom's Tech Time drone vids. I think I've seen one or so of his. Yeah, TTT. It's like an Audi, except it's just TT for Audi. If I could have any drone, what drone would it be? Do I have to pick one? I tell you what, flying the Inspire 2 yesterday, I mean, again, I wasn't flying the drone. I was only flying the camera, but that dual camera or dual operator setup, I really like that because I focused on the camera. He focused on the not hitting stuff with the drone, and the two of us together, I think that this is going to work out really, really well. I would love to have the Inspire 2, but I would love to have the M210 with dual cameras on it. That would be so cool. But I think I have, today at this point, I have no purpose to spend $30,000 on a drone. The only way I'm going to put $30,000 on a drone is if I know I'm making $30,000 off of it in the next 6 months. And or even year, because I would have to make that back in less than a year because they'll be coming out with something new or something, and I'll have to keep money coming in. So, yeah, I'd say the Inspire 2 right now. Where was I? I like Tom's Tech Time. Just don't watch him as he can't stand the intro. He wrote a book, and he's one of the states that you must deep cycle. Well, Stan, I'm not trusting that information. I trust that he knows what he's talking about, but I'm not willing to take a $150 battery and find out it's wrong. Yeah, Stella loves the intro. Did a video a few weeks ago of George Washington's boyhood home and was asked to do Kenmore. No, so these are not videos you're putting on YouTube. These are videos you're doing as commercial marketing for these places. Okay, cool. And you find them a bit annoying. Good videos. A thermal camera is on my wish list. Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. Live a little. Can a drone fly to Thailand? Not well, unless it would have to be something a military drone in Thailand, Ling Lang Resorts, Thailand. Well, welcome to the group from Thailand. I have been to Thailand. I have heard of drones flying around in Thailand. Both. You're doing both. Sweet, Jab. I'm just going to call you Jab. I'm just calling you Jab. That's the way we'll say JB. Try it now. Ling Lang. Tom Tech lives in Germany. Oh, yeah, they just totally... He wants to move to the U.S. as business. That's where I saw something about him where he was like, I'm moving to Germany, or I'm moving to the U.S. I saw that. Fixed wing, maybe? Fixed wing, I'm lost to something. Drone nerds have thermal cameras for sale. Yep. Jab. Okay, let's see. Can a drone fly to my house? Are you worried about somebody coming and flying over you? In Thailand, I don't know what the rules are, but as far as distance-wise, you can't fly more than a few miles before you lose sight of the drone. In the U.S., that's illegal, but I know you're not in the U.S. Technically, if they're within 3 or 4 miles, they could fly to your house, but they would have to fly right back because their battery's going to be about just enough to come back, maybe be at your place at 5 minutes or less. And I really wouldn't worry about people flying around to your house. Now, unless you are wanting to have deliveries, if you're talking like certain like Amazon type of deliveries, they're going to create drones that can do that. But as far as someone like me flying to your house, I'm not flying to your house because I could care less. I mean, even if you're Bill Gates, I'm not flying to your house. I don't care. You know, it's not but that's me. Oh, and Brian, you're a troll. That foundation is Brian, by the way. He's a troll. And no, he's not flying over your house. But, you know, legally, we can fly over houses here. We just don't want to fly into their yards and all that stuff because, and you know, legally, you can literally fly an inch above the grass in somebody's yard. I would not recommend it because your drone will probably meet a baseball bat or some sort of something that's going to kill it. So anyway, we're not going to go down that road. JAB is his initials. I'm flying over your house. Da, 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 da. Do you have to worry about hand grenades in Thailand? I don't know. Thailand's a pretty safe place. You've seen yes, I have seen the ad for drone ambulances. Those are out east. Am I a Trump supporter? I will not ever say that I'm any kind of supporter. I basically keep my political beliefs to myself and my close circle of friends because that doesn't need to be out there. So Owen, not now Owen. Yeah, see, I'm not going to go into that. I don't go into politics and I won't go into religion. I mean, I am just in the middle of the road of everything as far as everybody's concerned. I am not, even if I was a supporter of, no matter who I support, I am never like, oh my God, he's the God. No, I'm not that way. I'm like, who best fits what I want? And that's how I pick. Yes, what if a person flew their drone into a tree and I did not see it? Let's say it got stuck, then it would catch fire. Probably wouldn't catch fire if it got stuck. It would probably just stop. Hey, Mark, thanks for stopping by, man. You take care, and good day, and have a great day at work, all right? Later, brother. I wouldn't be too worried about it, Mr. Ling Lang, because we get stuck in trees plenty. So I think you're just being. I think it's a little bit. You're being a little bit too worried about it. They're really not that bad. I mean, if this little thing got caught in a tree, it's because it got blown there by the wind, and that's not going to catch anything on fire. Hey, the wife got home. I'm editing from home this morning. Tennessee. Yay, Tennessee. What part of Tennessee are you? Well, you better not say, because this is the internet and they might find you. Anyway, that's awesome that you're editing. What are you editing today, Mr. Brian? Mr. Ladd? Oh, hey, look at that, Brian. I think that you got a repeat comment come in. That happens every now and then. But yeah, it was not a monthly fee. I want to know what Brian Ladd is editing right now. And I'm looking forward to seeing some of these YouTube videos. Brian, you're in trouble. I should remove that one, but I don't think I can. What was I looking for? I was going up. JB, Jab, yes. Josh is in Florida. Yay, Florida. Yeah, Jab, I'm looking forward to seeing your videos come out of these Washington and the Virginia stuff. Because I like to see Washington's home and all that stuff. My friends, a lot of my friends are tour guides. They would be very interested in seeing those videos. And I think this is, wow, it's 10 after 6. This has been a long one, and I've just been talking head the whole time. Oh, yeah, you got to put those reviews up. Did you do the review of that already? Because I thought I saw something. Okay, Brian, I'm ignoring you now. The Brian Foundation, Ariel Brian, I'm just going to ignore him. Because that's information that I cannot divulge. Butthead. Oh, I hope you heard that, Brian. Hope you did. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought, Brian. Oh, and I didn't think you'd put that up yet. I'm looking forward to seeing it up. The George Washington home is already up. I'm going to look it up again. Thank you for saying it's a nice live stream, Brian, even though you're being a booger. One test video. Come on, Stella. We'll all subscribe to you. You'll have like 5 subscribers almost immediately. if they're already subscribed. I'll have to check you out in a little bit. I can't click. I'll have to look you up, so I can't click on anything. You love this channel. Thank you very much, Ling Ling. I appreciate it. I hope you... and by the way, I'd like to know where you're at, because I have been to Thailand. It's been 4 years. My wife and I went to Thailand, and we stayed in Koh Samui. And we really enjoyed Samui, and we went to Tao. And we enjoyed both of those islands. But a friend of mine has been to... I forget the name of the town. Anyway, a lot of you know about it. So, yeah, we appreciate that. And maybe I'll come out and I'll fly around your house if you pay me to. See, you already got some subs, Stella. That's awesome. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I think we're going to wrap it up, because I'm kind of getting tired of talking, and believe it or not, and I love to talk. But I'm going to tell, let's see, Jab, I'm going to look up your video. I'm going to send that to my tour guide friends that are in the D.C. area. And when your next one comes out, I'll try to shoot that one also to them, because I have some connections in that area. So anyway, what I want to say is I want to say thank you to everybody. And if you are watching this video as your resort is not open yet, I made a video about what I want it to be. Okay, cool. We'll take a look at that. You're very welcomely. No's don't go. No, don't go. React to your video. I'll tell you what I'll do. Ling Ling, keep subscribed, because I will check it out. But not yet, Brian. Apparently I got some more to talk about. With resorts, what I'll do again, I've done this before, is I've done like a video review, and I might do that again. Sounds like I've got some people who may or may not want it. Squappy's not around. I just realized that Squappy didn't show up today. Anyway, I will take a look at your stuff. That's no problem. So what I want to do, though, is I want to... Sorry, Stella, I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired. I gotta go. I have some editing to do. Anyway, I've got a lot of editing to do myself for tomorrow's video. I've got to get some B-roll done for it, because I've been lazy this afternoon, which is why Mark is putting out more videos than I am, because he's not so lazy, and I am. Why don't I ever like your videos? Well, maybe if you made some good frickin' videos, and I have liked your videos, so kiss my butt. If you made some good videos. Oh. You're going too fast now. Do a review of my morning flight. Fours. Oh, the forest. Did I see that one? Okay, we'll do a review some other time. We'll do a review video. Maybe we'll do that next week. We'll do review videos next week. Okay, guys. I love this. I love this that you guys are doing this. But I really need to go. Oh, okay, everybody, guys. You take care. And for those of you guys who are watching this video in the replay, go ahead and leave comments and questions below. Obviously, I have a wonderful community, so if I don't know the answer, someone else will. And everybody have a wonderful day. I got to show my end screen. Oh, you guys also have to check out my very, very new website, bradsdrones.com. So that's what you got to do. Check that out and buy some stuff, do some stuff, and I've got links below. All that good stuff. Anyway, guys, what else do I have to say? You know it. I've only got 3 people watching. Yes, I will be on again next week, probably Wednesday. That's going to be my goals every Wednesday at 5 o'clock, my time. So everybody have a wonderful day. Fly safe. And until next time, say it for me, Brian. Bye!